Whether it's stepping out onto the dance floor for the Strictly Come Dancing live show, destroying the competition in the Gladiator's arena, or lining up against the best 100-meter sprinters in the world at the Olympic Games, Montell Douglas is well used to formidable foes. But the 38-year-old former Team GB Olympian, also known as Fire on BBC One's Gladiators, says the toughest of all her challenges has been coping with period pain so serious it has hospitalized her. By the time I was 16, my monthly periods were a week long, really heavy, and involved 3 days of quite severe pain. But all girls talked about period pain, so I didn't understand that it was not normal to have it as badly as I did. I just thought that that's what they were like. There was this air of, oh, you've got period pain, but the spectrum is very wide. On a scale of 1 to 10, I just felt like it was like 11 out of 10 all the time. I was missing days of school very early on because I couldn't move out of bed, and remember constantly having to take medication to alleviate the pain. Other people used to use theirs as an excuse to get out of PE lessons, but I'd be trying to power on through because I loved sport so much. Her struggle continued well into her time as a professional athlete. My monthly cycle used to really impact my training, says Montell, who became the first female Brit to compete in different sports at both the Summer and Winter Olympics, after the track star joined the Team GB bobsleigh squad. It was a problem that came around every 3 weeks, so I used to try and fight through it to keep going. Once, I was literally doubled over on the ground, clutching my stomach waiting for the wave of pain to finish up, and my coach was asking, "What is going on?" I would try to battle through, waiting for these contractions that would last 30 seconds or a minute to end so I could start my reps again. But despite taking the pill for a decade, her issues didn't improve. I had a really traumatic incident just a couple of years ago where I had to be hospitalized because my period pain was just insane, recalls Montell of one particularly shocking incident in April 2021. I don't know why that day in particular was worse than others, but it was horrendous. I was at home on my own in excruciating pain. I took a painkiller and it didn't kick in, so I took another and again it didn't kick in. I ended up profusely sweating, having dizzy spells, passing out. I blacked out quite a few times. I rang my partner at the time. I rang my mum because I was very scared. I rang an ambulance to come and get me, and I was hospitalized. The nurse just looked at me and said, "You must be in absolute agony." It was almost like the trauma of the pain had sent my body into shock. It was a very scary time for me. I literally at one point I was messaging my mum saying, "I don't know if I'm going to make it, it's just so bad." I was convulsing and passing out multiple times. I didn't know if I was going to wake up again, just from the pain, says the sports star, who has teamed up with Bupa Health Clinic for the launch of its period plan service. My body couldn't regulate its temperature and I became dehydrated, which probably made things worse. It sounds so unbelievable when you tell people that you were unconscious just because you had period pains. Research from Bupa has revealed 75% of women say they suffer from painful, heavy or irregular periods, with 49% having been told this is normal. The severe impact of their periods has left them suicidal. Montell's hospital dash led her to have an Nexplanon contraceptive implant inserted into her arm. The doctors couldn't say why the pain had been worse that day, but they thought I'd probably waited too long to take my usual painkillers, which meant they hadn't been able to work properly.